Shalom Akim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles, Grimmins doing real well, and to the Akim around the four corners of the earth. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Yeah, so here you have a gunsmith in Pakistan, you know, getting busy with that sword, man. Manufacturing stuff. And that's one thing a lot of people don't understand concerning this pockets of how you call it, man, pockets of small businesses that are into the productions of firearms. This one thing Esau wouldn't want you to be paying attention to, man, because this is a serious topic, you know, because Esau has always lived by the sword, and now these other nations, smaller nations like Pakistan, they got people that specialize in making weapons too. All those sexy ass weapons that you see in Esau's gun shops here in the States. They're making replicas of it. They're making an exact copy of that of that weapon. If it's a Glock, uh, a Springfield, an AR, they could manufacture it over there. AKs, they could manufacture it over there too. You know, so you could imagine you see weapons without no serial numbers, but they work perfectly, and you have no clue where it came from. But if you do some material testing, in a lab, you could tell exactly, from what region of the world it came from. All right. So it's very, very important to be aware of this aspect of prophecy, the making of firearms, the making of weapons. All right. So I'm going to read from the book of Joel. Joel chapter Joel chapter 3, verses 9 and 10. All right. Joel chapter 3, verses 9 and 10. Yeah, it just shows you that the nation of Israel, our nation, is not in rulership, and it's war on the face of the earth on a daily basis. I'm waiting for World War III to take place. So it just shows you that those so-called people over there in the land of Israel are not the people of the Lord. They're just a bunch of imposters. All right. So the book of Joel chapter 3 verses let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Joel chapter 2. Is it Joel chapter 2? All right. Joel chapter, it's like a Joel chapter 3. Yes, okay, let me pull this up real quick. Yeah, Joel chapter 3, verse 10. Yes, like this old 1611. It's got some kind of funny vibes with these pages concerning the book of Joel chapter 3. Yes, like Joel chapter 3, verses 9 and 10. Alright. So it reads as thus. Verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. So this is the vibration that is going to be heavy upon the face of the earth very soon, as per World War III. All right. And all these weapons that these so-called small arm manufacturers are producing, they're going to be used on the streets. You know, some of them, you know, a whole lot of them will find its way into Europe, will find its way into Afghanistan, because Afghanistan is next door to Pakistan. So you can imagine all those Afghans, you know, all suited up with their weapons, man. If they don't get no weapons from America, they know they could always get it from Pakistan. You know, they'll pay money, all that money from the opium trade, all those money that they're able to acquire. They could use it to buy stuff from Pakistan, you know, and they got all type of weapons there. So let me play this clip real quick.
Hard at work in Pakistan's largest weapons black market. This is Dara Adam Khel, where foreign-made guns are copied and sold for less than a smartphone.
This is an MP5 pistol. I've been manufacturing these for the past 20 years.
And the MP5, that's exactly what the British like to use. All right. So you just got to study the, you know, certain aspects of weapons different law enforcement agencies like to use. And that's a nice small Scooby-Doo that the British like to use, man, you know, to handle some business, especially when they got some drama, you know, with with the IRA, you know, the Irish Republican Army, you know. So that's how you know, funny, you know, this tension is, man. This conflict that's upon the face of the earth. There's always going to be an opening for someone to manufacture firearms.
The price of this pistol is 7,000 rupees, and it costs 4,500 to make it.
In Gul's family, like others in this town, the skills have been handed down for generations. Trade here boomed in the 80s as the Mujahideen needed weapons to fight the Soviets next door in Afghanistan. Later, the Taliban and...
Yep, so you can imagine how those Mujahideens in Afghanistan were able to get weapons from Pakistan into Afghanistan to fight the Soviets. And you know that the United States of America and the CIA, they're all, you know, backing up the so-called Mujahideens, which are now labeled as Taliban, you know. So that's how messed up, you know, the conflict on the face of the earth is, man, you know. And that's just a little tip of the history.
Foreign fighters provided a steady stream of business. But things have changed since the Pakistani government launched an offensive against insurgents all over the country.
I had been running my business here for the last 30 years, but our business has plummeted, and now I want to sell my lathe machine. Our business was very good before the army operation, but it has been badly affected.
Checkposts, heightened control, police presence are taking their toll. Customers are hesitant to come, and a growing number of shops in the main street now sell groceries and electronic products. And although hundreds of gun shops still cram the surrounding streets, many fear for their future.
There are only about 3,000 shops left. If the government does not do anything, the number will drop from 3,000 to 1,000, and eventually they will shut down and the market will disappear.
Although illegal, the gun trade here has long been tolerated by authorities. And in this tribal area where gun culture is deeply embedded in male identity, it is seen as a legitimate business. A profession these gun lovers will try to keep alive for as long as they can.
Working out is
Yep. So when you just type in Pakistani gunsmiths, just look at all the results you're gonna get, man. And this is all the information, man. The gun markets of Pakistan, and their weapons gonna cost less. That exactly what the American gun shops, American manufacturers are, are labeling, for their own products, you know. So just this is the rulership of Esau. This is what it brings about. People supplying arms, yeah, to a market that needs to get some things done. And this is not the rulership of righteousness, man. This is a rulership of destruction. All right. So Joel chapter 3 verse 10 says that beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So you can imagine the knowledge of ammunition manufacturing, is what counts the most. And when the time comes around that folks are going to need those materials, those firearms, folks are going to be making that shit day and night, man. And you sort of be wondering how the hell are these people able to create such a powerful firearm, a firearm with a heavy firepower, from semi to auto, just like that, So it's scary, man. It's scary. So I'm gonna read from the book of Job. Yeah, I'm gonna read from the book of Job. It's not something to take lightly, because you have these folks, man, from this region of Pakistan, Afghanistan. They're here in the United States, man. How many of them would tell you they know how to make firearms? How many of them would tell you they know how to create IEDs and build RPGs? So all those scrap metals, that folks are collecting, you could imagine what they could do with it. How to make gunpowder and all that stuff. So that's why it's very, very important to stay prayerful, man, that you don't come into a negative vibe with these folks, man, in that day. You gotta pray, oh Lord, help Shabbat Shemokakadesh is with you, man. And this is what Jake is slipping on, man. Slipping on these heathens, man. You just think it's just regular, pizza delivery, kebab making specialists. Yeah, it's no joke. You gotta be spiritual, you gotta be prayerful. So it's gonna cause Esau to be in a tough spot, man. Alright. So the book of Job chapter 20 verse 22 says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked, aka the oppressed, alright, when you look at the Hebrew meaning for that word, right? Every hand of the oppressed shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eaten. Yeah, so this one important element to always consider. All right, and the Lord will not allow Esau to accomplish his new world order. All right, so little manufacturers like this, and then you add the creation of nuclear weapons by Russia and China. That's going to be a major defeat for the West, for NATO. All right. So, what do you think is going to happen? You know, more carnage on the face of the earth. You know, and it's going to take the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua Ba'Shem HaKadash to put the earth back together. You know, he has to overthrow Esau's rulership. You know, the elites of this world that have been ruling the earth in tyranny have to be put in check, have to be, confiscated by the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua. They have to be shackled. All right. So I'm going to read from the book of Isaiah chapter 2. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4. This is what our rulership will be about. A rulership of righteousness, all right? A kingdom wherein dwelleth righteousness, all right? Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4. And it reads, concerning the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua, what he's going to do. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares. All right. And the book of Job chapter 3 verses 9 and 10 talks about them beating their plowshares and their pruning hooks into swords and spears and all that. But Isaiah chapter 2 verse 4 says what? And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. And that's the point that I came. So the more you take a look at this drama in Elam's land, Afghanistan, Pakistan, you'll be surprised, man. You know, there are current videos. You know, some of those videos. Look at that. Click, clack, click. Yep, that's why you gotta be prayerful, man. Look at that, man. See, they got the vice grip, they got their file. You know, they're working on the stainless steel or the aluminum parts. So it's just crazy, man. When you study the structure of weapons, you understand that it's no joke, man. It takes a lot of attention to detail. That's why you gotta pray, Lord Hamashiach Yahushua Ba'Shem HaKadash, you know, have his hedge around you, because it's no joke, man. War always creates bad fellows, man. All right. So that's upon the Akim. You know, stay faithful, stay humble. Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem HaKadash. Shalom.